Canada's Syncrude tailings is the largest. Tajikistan's Nurek is the tallest. Brazil's Itaipu is the most powerful. Damn dams are everywhere and they're getting bigger all the time, damn it. Hey everybody, thank you for watching D-News Today. I'm Trace. Hydropower is one of the oldest methods of power generation on the planet. Today we often think of the Hoover Dam when you talk about hydropower, but ancient Greeks used the power of turning water wheels to grind grain. That power was also harnessed in the early Americas when colonists built mills on creeks with enough drop to run water wheels. Today, instead of a water wheel on a creek, hydropower often involves building a massive dam to hold back a water source. With enough water pressure and drop, the water can turn giant turbines and generate electricity. The Department of Energy says 70% of Washington state's electricity comes from hydropower, and 11 states get more than 10% of their electricity also from hydro. The thing is, only 3% of the 80,000 dams in the United States generate electricity. And even if they do, dams inevitably alter thousands of square miles of waterways in both directions, affecting fish and wildlife, forests, farms, and of course human populations. China is the largest producer of hydroelectricity, followed by Canada, Brazil, and the United States, according to the Energy Information Administration. The Xayaburi Dam is a $3.5 billion project on the Mekong River in northern Laos. It's scheduled to be completed in 2019, and it's one of 11 dams planned to be completed by 2025 on the river. Though they'll provide 8% of the region's electricity and a $3.7 billion a year income, it will affect more than 200,000 people in the region and result in possible extinction of fish species, reduced fish populations, inundation of riverbank gardens, and loss of nutrients for floodplain agriculture equivalent to $500 million every year. That is according to a 2011 International Rivers report. Plus, construction of the dams could expedite the extinction of these cute but weird-looking Irrawaddy dolphins. Most people are aware of the impediments these dams make for spawning and migrating fish. But it's not just that. Water in a reservoir is stagnant, gathering more sediment and growing more aquatic weeds and algae than a river would. That causes problems with downstream life. Fish are used to certain temperatures and levels of oxygen in their river water. Dams not only block the fish from getting where they need to go, but deep reservoirs held by the dam result in damn cold water with very little oxygen. Opening the reservoir to respond to, say, a sudden demand for electricity causes this cold, barely oxygenated water to rush into rivers, suffocating and killing fish. This is according to the Union of Concerned Scientists. On top of all that, the river itself suffers because sand, rocks, wood, and other natural sediment builds up in the reservoir rather than spreading it downriver. On top of all of that, the Union of Concerned Scientists found large hydroelectric dams do pollute with greenhouse gases, something that people say they weren't supposed to do. As the reservoir behind the dam grows or floods over plants that used to be in that area, that material decomposes, releasing CO2 and methane, especially in tropical areas. Emissions vary, but they are just underneath the lowest levels from a natural gas plant. The Balbina Hydroelectric Dam in Brazil flooded over 900 square miles of land, an area the size of Delaware. That's a lot of decomposing vegetation. Dams are considered symbols of human achievement and national willpower, but that can come at the expense of our national resources and still cause pollution and destruction. We didn't even talk about earthquakes in dammed areas or the construction of the dams themselves, which can take as long as a decade. So what can we do about this stuff? 2 century-old dams on the Elwha River in Washington state are blocking a key salmon spawning channel. They generate very little electricity, so they're being demolished. It's about a cost-benefit analysis. Aside from tearing them down, some hydropower plants simply divert water rather than damming a whole river, and you can even generate power using natural wave surge in the ocean. What we're saying is there are alternatives. Another way companies are using nature to power our appliances is with wind energy. But what about when the wind's not blowing? Then what happens? Then you just capture the wind in a cave and use it later, obviously. It sounds like a cartoon, but this is real. Check out this super old D-News video about it right here. And during peak generation hours, they use that extra power to force compressed air into a giant container or a large storage area. Then when peak usage hours occur, they loose that compressed air, heat it with a bit of natural gas, and expand it, boom! Turbines and electrical energy. And if you love D-News, you really should click that subscribe button now. That is how we know you're going to come back to watch more. Go ahead, do it.